guys, welcome back to another interview here on Toned In Entertainment. Today we're here in Vero Beach at Ignite's big 5-year anniversary show, and I'm joined by Jarett Diaz.
That's me, the Bodega Boy here. What up? How's it going?
It's going great, man. It's 2021. The last time I was here was the same time this year, but we weren't wearing masks.
True.
We're wearing masks this year.
Look, we got to be safe right now. Obviously, the world's in a weird place. Hopefully, we can keep on having these events and just take the safety precautions that we can. I'm happy to be here, with mask or not.
That's great because a lot of places haven't opened, but Florida and Ignite specifically has found ways to do these events safely, which is great for the wrestlers and for us fans.
Of course.
Things have definitely changed here in 2021, 2020. We had a lot of time on our hands last year with a lot of closures. Did you learn something new about yourself during the whole pandemic?
I really did. So before the pandemic, I was living here in Florida. I was in Winter Park and traveling throughout the state as well as Georgia and the Carolinas to wrestle. And when this hit, my life changed. I moved back to New York, where I'm from originally, and I just finished college online. My entire world shifted, and as like a lot of people's did. So I had to learn about myself, like how willing am I to keep chasing what I love? How much do I have left in me to, I don't know, despite everything that's going on, just try and make ends meet and scratch and claw and keep doing the thing I love to do, because a lot of people aren't able to keep doing that. And a lot of people were, even the things they don't really love to do but have to do, were taken away from those things. So it's really just a matter of being patient with yourself and as well as the things around you, and figure out how can I keep doing what I love and still keep myself and my family safe.
Now, did you put on any quarantine pounds during the...
I had the opposite problem. I lost 22 pounds during quarantine.
Everybody watching this is mad at you right now.
No. You don't understand. I struggle with my weight on the downside, so I worked really hard to get up to about 178, which is where I was wrestling at full time before COVID hit. I dropped down to 160, feeling unhealthy, not feeling the best, and taking the time to get myself back in the gym after 12 weeks of just being locked inside full time. I'm lucky enough in New York, my dad and I own a facility, so we were able to get into the gym after some time. But putting that weight back on at about 180 now is just, it was a mental struggle more than physical, because once you figure out, all right, I dropped down a lot, do I even want to keep putting it back on? Do I even want to put the work back in? And you have to, because if you love what you do, you commit everything you have to it.
Now, were you in New York during the major part of the crisis last year?
Yeah, so when it initially hit was early March, right, somewhere around there. Spent a month down here in Florida, and then ultimately I was just, scratched for funds. I was still a college kid, so I didn't really have a way to keep living down here. So I went back up, lived with my parents, and throughout that, and to this day, I'm still living in New York. So anytime I have a show in Florida, I travel down for it, and quarantine when I get back and get tested as much as I can. So just taking the precautions.
Right. How is it in New York City now compared to maybe Florida?
New York is weird, man. It has stayed locked down. It's come out and then gone back in. The indoor-outdoor dining was a thing for a while. At this point in time in New York, you have outdoor dining, but they're just tents that you're inside of. So it's weird. New York is a weird place. Less lanes because all the places you're trying to eat just have tables out on the street. It's odd, but there are probably worse places to be than with your family. So right, that's all I can be grateful for.
That's true. It's always good to have something to be grateful for. It sounds like definitely you have something to be grateful for. Now, obviously, you're getting back in it. You're working out. You're getting back into the swing of things here. When you're working out, what type of music do you like to listen to?
I'm kind of an old head for a 24-year-old, but I'm a New Yorker and I love hip-hop. So give me 50 Cent, Ja Rule, Nas, Eminem, Jay-Z, some Kanye, some Drake. You hear a lot of rappers today that I'm just not, they go over my head, not really into it. But, I'm also kind of an eclectic guy. I'll listen to some pop punk, some rock music, the hip hop, and then, if you catch me in a weird place, Justin Timberlake in the gym, not as weird as it sounds.
Right.
Yeah.
No, Justin, you can jam out to Justin. Ain't nothing wrong with jamming out to Justin. Yeah. Right? I mean, I think he's like that one guy that's
He's just mutually accepted, right, across all cultures, yeah.
Yeah, nothing wrong with little JT, right? Now, here on Toned In Entertainment, we like to talk a lot of pop culture. And before the shutdown, I was doing a lot of movie reviews. Sure. So I've gone to doing retro movie reviews.
Awesome.
If there's a movie from back in the days that we should review on Toned In Entertainment, what would be your choice?
I don't want to hit on ones like I don't know, Back to the Future or Karate Kid. Those are really easy to go find reviews of, right? If you're looking for an old movie to watch and review, there's a movie called Heaven Can Wait, and it's about a quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams in the 70s. He's biking on his way to practice the week of the Super Bowl, gets hit by a car, and right before he gets hit by that car and passes away, Angel pulls him out of his body. Turns out he's not supposed to die, so his angel has to find a new body for him to go into because the body is destroyed. And it's sort of a drama comedy, stars Warren Beatty, okay. And it's exceptional. So as a suggestion, there you go.
Thank you. That's definitely one to put on the Netflix DVD queue list. Yes, I still use the Netflix DVD list.
That's fine, man.
How we get those movies.
Oh, whatever you got to get.
Now, what inspired you to one day say, you know what, I want to try this. I want to become a professional.
Oh, man. You know, I referenced the old football movie because I was a football player. I played throughout life in New York, and then I went to college for it. I played in Indiana. And when I was getting ready to go play college football, I was 18, and Kurt Hawkins had just opened up his school in Long Island. I was a wrestling fan since I'm a little kid. You know, you watch like Shawn Michaels and John Cena and Umaga and Jeff Hardy, like mid-2000s, and you see these larger-than-life characters, and you're just amazed at what they do. So you're a fan, right? But then when I was about 17, 18, the school opened up, and it's 40 minutes from my house. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go try this thing. So I spent a couple months at Create a Pro at Kurt Hawkins' school, which is phenomenal, for a couple of months before I went away to play college football. And I said, when I'm done with football, I will get back to this. And it was sooner than I thought. I only played football in college for a year before I transferred out. And then I thought to myself, I said, look, I don't have a lot of time to be an athlete, but I've been it my whole life, so why stop now? So I transitioned to wrestling, and I trained a bit up there in New York before I moved down here to finish college, and I just took off from there.
Were there any particular wrestlers that you were inspired by?
Oh my God, so many. Probably the most inspiring wrestler that I've watched, which is it's kind of a weird pick. Evan Bourne, Matt Sydal. You look at the stature of the guy, right? I was, of course, growing up as a Latino kid and a smaller guy. Rey Mysterio's that icon. But if you're looking for a little bit more of a niche pick, Evan Bourne, Matt Sydal. He's about 5'7", about my weight. But the freakishly athletic things that he could do, and the entertaining matches that he was having, despite not being looked at as like a top guy, that's somebody who I always emulated. Dolph Ziggler is another guy who, just the athleticism and the character that he put forward, the arrogance, the bravado that he put forward was something that I was glued to. So some of those guys are definitely of my ilk.
You know, I've seen some of your matches online. This is the first time I actually get to see you live, and I can tell you from watching your matches, I see a lot of influences from Matt Sydal in the way that you wrestle and some of the risks that you take out there.
That's a huge compliment. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think that if you're going to do this and you give everything you love, right, maximize your skill set and figure out a way to make that captivating. So yeah, some of the risks that I take, my mom doesn't love them, but I'm happy to do them. I am, because every time I do that dive, as long as I can hope that the person down there is going to be there, I'm happy to do it every night.
What does your mom say when she sees you do those dives?
Oh, she just flinches. She starts saying things in Spanish that I don't fully understand, and I feel bad. I really do, because this is a woman that she didn't go to my football games because she was so afraid that I was going to get hurt. After the first one she came to, I got hurt. So for 6-7 years, she just couldn't do it. And now I do it every week. Now I wrestle every single week, or as much as I possibly can, and I could risk getting in there and getting hurt. And I feel for the woman. I really do.
Now, you talked a lot about professional football. Did you have a favorite football player?
My favorite football player, and to this day, is Tom Brady. He's an ageless guy. And now from New York, that's a weird pick. I know, don't go away. Please don't go away. Please don't go away, sir. I'm sorry. Listen.
I'm a Dolphin fan. It's hard.
Right, and I'm a Jets fan, and I'm miserable.
Oh, no.
Right. I get it, guys. I understand. Listen, hard cam. I'm sorry. Now, look, I played quarterback, and I wasn't an athletic kid growing up. That developed a little later. The speed and agility that I now bring to my wrestling, I use that in football later. So I watch a guy like Tom Brady, and I watch his brain, and I watch his precision, because he's not an athlete in the typical sense. 6'4", 220, but slow. And I just watch the way he plays and the greatness that he's able to, the way that he's able to succeed for 21 years now. It's remarkable. So as much as I want him to lose, I still want him to throw 300 yards and then lose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Now, as of this recording, he's playing tomorrow against Green Bay, so by the time it goes up, we'll know if he's taking Tampa Bay to the Super Bowl. I mean, who would have thought?
Well, listen, as a Dolphins fan, I get it, but like, how mad could you be if one of your state teams went to the Super Bowl? Could you be the most mad, or like, was it worse when New England was there?
I'm not voting for Tom Brady in any.
Okay.
We're going Green Bay, Buffalo, or Kansas City. Anybody but Tampa
Okay.
this year. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. It's a Tom Brady thing. It's a Tom Brady thing. I'm sure he could care less, but it's a Tom Brady thing.
Of course.
Now, I've asked questions like this before about, like, you know, meal preps and stuff like that, but that's not really that interesting. Everybody has kind of like a generic.
It's boring. Eat chicken and broccoli
Right.
every single day, plain foods, and it's boring, but it helps. That's it.
Right. But the important question is, you've worked up an appetite. You're probably having some cheat meal. What would that cheat meal be after wrestling?
Give me the sauciest, cheesiest chicken parm that you can find with some pasta and some fries. So heavy carb and then some fatty, cheesy chicken parm. That's hitting for me 10 times out of 10.
Oh, I love it. I don't know where we can get that around here. We're in Vero Beach. I'm not too familiar, but I'm sure if we...
I'll head back to Orlando and find one.
Okay. It's only about an hour and a half away, so by the time you get there, you'll be hungry.
I'll be starving.
Right, exactly. Now, is there anything else we should know about Jarett Diaz?
Anything else I know about Jarett Diaz? What a good question. I've never been asked that before. Oh. I think that when you look at me, not a big guy, clearly quite talkative. I think that it's easy to overlook a guy like that. Someone who mouths off, sometimes in a bad way, sometimes not so much, but if they talk a lot and they're of slighter stature, it's easy to overlook that kind of person. What you can miss is the heart and the drive, and the motivation, the energy, in me specifically, the positivity that I bring to what I do and the love and passion for what I do that is unmatched. I love this more than anything. And that's something that a lot of people say, but not a lot of people will travel 1,000 miles just to do this every 2 weeks. So there you go.
I love it. Energy, positivity, passion. What else can we inspire to have than those three things, right?
Of course.
Jarett, where can people look you up at?
Ooh, social media plugs. Okay, I got this ready.
Plug it.
On Instagram, at The Jarett Diaz Show. On Twitter, at Jarett Diaz. You put the graphic down there?
Of course.
Perfect.
Yeah. The logo's right there, you know?
Perfect. On YouTube, The Jarett Diaz Show. That's it. Those three places primarily. And if you just look me up, you'll find football stuff. You'll find, from the past, you'll find wrestling stuff. You'll find some vlogs. You'll find some of my schoolwork. I was a broadcasting student, so there's some reports and stuff out there somewhere floating. So if you like me or my face or what I do out there, just look me up. Find me, follow me, have fun with it.
Yeah, we can watch the matches, but I think always the most entertaining things are the stuff outside of wrestling sometimes. Of course. Definitely going to have to look out. All right, Jarett, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. And guys, if you like interviews like this, make sure you subscribe here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.